Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is March 6th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a wishbone offense, two-pronged attempt to remove U.S. President Donald J. Trump from power on the date of March 7th of 2026. Under the guise of the so-called Epstein files. So if you've been following my blog, I have been publishing about this essentially since the Epstein files broke in the Gawker report many years ago, that this entire scandal is being disseminated with the sole objective of removing Donald J. Trump from power, either by impeachment, arrest, or resignation. In respect to the date of March 7th, before I get into the potential scenarios, I just want to highlight the fact, two facts. Number one, the date of March 7th is 3-7. 3 sevens is 777, and 777 is found in the tetragram of Yahweh, which is the highest God in Judaism. Which suggests that this, in fact, because the Epstein files are in fact a redacted version of the Epstein blackmail ring, which is, everybody knows, is Mossad. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein was a member of Mossad, and this is how they do business. And so they are trying to use lawfare regarding the Epstein files to remove a sitting and duly elected U.S. president. So this is Zionist interference. It's being orchestrated by CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland and being executed on the ground via double agents of the Israeli government inside our government in the United States. And this is reflected in the numerology which they have chosen to execute this particular plot on the date of March 7th. So exactly how this is going to manifest in reality is not known. The first most likely option is that the CIA stages an impeachment of Donald J. Trump for crimes related to the Epstein files. And the second most likely scenario is that the CIA arrests Trump for crimes allegedly committed against underage females. It's also imperative to note that aside from the Yahweh numerology of March 7th, is that the date of March 7th is the 66th day of the year. 6-6 is 2 sixes, and 26 is equates to the letter Z in the English alphabet, which is an acronym for Zionism, and that is in fact the political motivation behind the impending arrest of Trump. And it's also imperative to note that Donald J. Trump, if arrested, will never ever see the inside of a courtroom because he will be assassinated either by suicide, under the guise of a health-related emergency, or under the guise of attacking law enforcement or security guards or prison officials, and then had to be restrained and then killed, possibly by gunshot or asphyxiation. But Donald J. Trump, I'll just state it for the record, on March 6th of 2026, if Donald J. Trump is ever arrested for crimes related to the Epstein files, he will never ever see the inside of a courtroom. That being said, I just want to highlight really quickly the scenario that are blinking red. So basically, the most likely scenario, aside from impeachment, is that Donald J. Trump is arrested for crimes related to the Epstein files, namely 18 U.S. Code 4, which is misprision of treason. This is knowing about a felonious act and failing to report it to the proper authorities. So what the scenario is that Donald J. Trump knew of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, even though he basically blacklisted him from Mar-a-Lago for the last 20 years, and the Florida investigation, as well as Bill Clinton, have stated that Donald J. Trump had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein for the last 20 years, but they want to nail him, so they're going to likely charge him with 18 U.S. Code 4, misprision of treason, failing to report a felony. Now it gets pretty murky because the CIA, the DOJ, at the behest of the CIA, stated yesterday on March 5th, 2026, that a fifth trove of so-called Epstein files was to be re-released this weekend. Well, here we are on Friday evening, and they have not yet been released. So I expect that if Donald J. Trump is arrested for Epstein files related crimes on the date of March 7th, that this will come along with the fifth trove of so-called evidence, and this will likely feature artificial intelligence generated audio files, deepfake videos, and or photoshopped images of the president engaging in unlawful acts with an underage females. So basically, they are going to either fabricate these photos or they're going to Photoshop them in such a manner so they could take a real photo of Donald J. Trump and then superimpose it over another photo with underage girls and make it look authentic. They have this technology. Also, it's highly likely that they are going to, because a number of the evidence that they already released has big black boxes over the faces of certain people in certain photos, they're going to repeal these black boxes, and lo and behold, there will be Trump with underage women. Also, really quickly, there are a number of stipulations, shall we say, regarding that just came out in the last 24 hours regarding the Epstein files. The first one is that Donald J. Trump allegedly committed crimes against an underage Jane Doe between the ages of 13 and 15 who allegedly was forced to give Donald J. Trump sex, namely oral sex. There was also an underage Jane Doe that was interviewed by the FBI back on August 7th of 2019. There was also an underage Jane Doe interviewed by the FBI back on July 24th of 2019. And there was also a Jane Doe who, quote unquote, bit the shit out of his penis during an alleged sexual assault by Trump. And there is also 37 pages of the Epstein files that have been missing. And there is also a report of 53 pages of the Epstein files that have been missing. And there is also the so-called redacted version of the Epstein files, which is yet to be released. So, Trump is going to be arrested for basically a misprision of treason. I believe it's misprision of a felony. But I'll look that up later. U.S. Code 4, that's the most important part, U.S. Code 4, misprision of a felony. And then the other one is basically the aforementioned alleged crimes. So the CIA has been really ambiguous about what Trump has done allegedly, because they basically they don't want to give out too much information, because yours truly documents it, puts it in a PDF, makes a video about it, and then they have to create a new reason because they don't want a legal link to Switzerland's hand removing Trump with this Epstein file. So they have been very careful about how they word it. But basically all the numbers suggest that Donald J. Trump will be arrested on the date of March 7th. He is coincidentally in Florida, so I suspect that on the morning of March 7th of 2026, likely 5 or 6 in the morning at East Coast time, that Donald J. Trump will be arrested by FBI agents and or other federal agents for alleged crimes related to the Epstein files. There's also the possibility that the Palm County Police Department or the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department or other federal agents from the Florida government or the U.S. government or Florida state officials will arrest Trump for allegedly failing to report a felony and or for allegedly engaging in unlawful sexual acts with minor females. And that is why Kendrick Lamar performed this song A Minor in front of Donald J. Trump at the second to the last Super Bowl. So anyways, just to recap, Donald J. Trump is going to be impeached or arrested for crimes related to the Epstein files on the date of March 7th of 2026, specifically to trigger a second American Civil War, and also to spawn the presidency of one J.D. Vance. If that happens, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.